What's going on, peeps? To complete the emo trilogy of the 2010s, we are going to be diving into the lost media of popular rock band Fall Out Boy. I've pretty much known about these guys my entire life. They've had a wide range of hits spanning over a decade. I ended up becoming more of a 21 Pilots guy, but I still do enjoy a majority of their catalog. Fully Dukes is their best album. Fight me. I honestly wouldn't have been mad if it was their last album. So I was excited to look back into their history to see if there are parts of it that are lost in time. Media that we know was photographed or recorded at one point but is now untraceable, gone forever, or kept somewhere away from us. Thankfully, these guys don't have a whole album lost like Panic, technically. All because Fall Out Boy has a dedicated archive team with CIA-like tactics making sure every part of Fall Out Boy's history is seen. But even they are struggling to find what I'll be talking about in this video. What are Patrick Stump, Pete Wentz, and these big corporations keeping from us? We're going to go over a couple of instances of lost media that will relate to Fall Out Boy and see what I can find myself. Let's get snooping. In 2001, Patrick Stump planned to audition for Fall Out Boy as a drummer, but Joe Troman convinced him to play acoustic guitar instead. He was originally a drummer for several bands that fell out early on. Stump had a conversation with Troman at a Borders book room in Wilmette about Joe and Pete Wentz's latest musical endeavor. Seeing a chance to audition for a well-known local artist, Stump directed Troman to his mp3.com page, which featured his acoustic recordings. Stump described them as very low quality and you can barely hear his voice. Unfortunately, these recordings have not been found to this day. For a while, his account hadn't been discovered, and who knows if it's possible it could have been deleted as the website has been long shut down. Only archives are available at this point. You have to download the entire website onto a hard drive to find the old profiles. Even after searching the archive site that saved MP3 files before it shut down, the fandom couldn't find Patrick's username for a while. They tried every name possible but found nothing, until recently, where they discovered a profile by the name of Bergen-Even, with the name Patrick Stump featuring one recording named Munchausen's. For some backstory, Bergen-Even was a project of old bandmate Drew First from Grinding Process, where bandmates like Stump would produce low-budget recordings together. This archive includes the lyrics and backstory of the song that Stump is honestly embarrassed about. Sadly, the recording itself was never archived and can't be played. Even his old bandmates don't have a copy, but apparently, Patrick still has a copy to this day. I hope we can somehow uncover this song and possibly more if they aren't lost forever. Let's have faith, y'all. There's a chance. The first two shows Fall Out Boy did have not been photographed, videographed, and barely documented. Not even a set list has been leaked from both. We do know they played at DePaul University within the haunted Coral U Commons at Chicago, Illinois on October 9th, 2001, and the Daily Grind in Macomb on November 30th, 2001. Why are these shows so important beyond just being their first shows? Well, there's an interesting story to them. For the first show, it was revealed that they were a last-minute addition to this lineup of other local bands. It's weird because there are a few recordings of the other bands playing that night, same place, but not Fall Out Boy. They were the first band to play, yet there's nothing about them. The reason they weren't filmed, apparently, I'm not even kidding you, they sucked. They were so bad, the booker didn't even want to record the performance. No footage or photographs, nothing. As for the second show, this one means something because this is where they got their name. They opened for the Killing Tree and didn't have an official name yet. They went over a list of names they were considering like Short Story, Unhappy Ending, and Forget Me Not. However, during the show, someone in the crowd shouted, "No, forget that. You're Fall Out Boy." That was another name they had considered, proposed by the former drummer Ben Rose, and it's been history since. Whether anything will resurface from these events, maybe even the audience members shouting that out, we're not really sure. Your boy tonight, I hope. In promotion of their debut album Take This to Your Grave in 2004, they put out an EP, My Heart Will Always Be the B-Side to My Tongue, that include 5 songs and a DVD of extra band footage, including their story. There was reportedly 40 minutes of uncut footage from each member discussing the band's early years, posted on their old website. It was obviously cut shorter in the published DVD recording we have today, but you never know what we could have missed out from that cut. Sugar We're Going Down is a pop-punk classic, objectively, but apparently, this song went through several changes before its release on April 4th, 2005. The earliest known performance of this song was on September 3rd, 2004 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, within Henry W. Mayer Festival Park for Summerfest Encore. hear in the recording, the verses are completely different from the version we have today. Some people in the comments even prefer this version as it's a lot more up-tempo. Fans suggest there's an old studio demo of this version somewhere within the band's archives, or maybe they're just testing out to see if fans would like it and nothing was truly recorded. At least fans enjoyed it, as you can hear from the reaction the chorus got. Like, imagine if this got booed and we never got this song. Jeez. As a kid who grew up in the 2000s, I was subjected to Kidz Bop, a bunch of kids covering and mostly ruining our favorite songs just so we don't have to lose our innocence from the actual recording. Anyway, Dance Dance was supposed to be on Kidz Bop 10, but Pete Wentz stopped them from covering the song because of its sexual themes. Even after suggesting to change the lyrics, Pete blocked that decision too. So it's unclear if the cover existed before Fall Out Boy's request, but if it did, we don't know yet. It seems like day after day I learn about a random teen program that I never remembered. Introducing The N, a nighttime programming block on Noggin, designed for teenagers. There's some burst of nostalgia. While having these attempts to educate the masses, they brought on famous musical artists for an exclusive performance that could be seen one time only unless you were able to tape it with a VCR. There was a performance aired on February 9th, 2007, the year the program was shut down. It was Fall Out Boy promoting their latest single, This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race. It was a part of the N's Love 'Em or Leave 'Em weekend for Valentine's Day. Great relationship advice, Nick. Fall Out Boy would host the program for the weekend with stars from one of the N's shows Beyond the Breaks, Sonia Belmoras, and Susie Pollard. The only media that surfaced was the promo package, not even the performance. I guess if you feel nostalgic about the old teen shows you used to watch, try looking into this. Fall Out Boy were featured on AT&T Blue Room to play video games within ESPN Zone in New York City. No footage has surfaced beyond this archive announcement from their site. Here's something from my Australian viewers. They performed a show in Sydney, Australia on the warship HMAS Tobruk, right before their hiatus on February 22nd, 2009, and it was aired a few times on TV. There are multiple pictures and videos of the performance that can be found online. However, I can't quite find the actual TV recording that is likely higher quality than 2009 thumb in the shot camera quality. Better than nothing, I guess. After Fall Out Boy went on hiatus, Patrick Stump made an attempt at a solo career with his 2011 album Soul Punk and EP Turn It Wave. Soul Punk includes the alt-pop cut Everybody Wants Somebody. An interesting discovery made is that there was supposed to be an official music video, directed by Joe Ween, who had previously directed another Stump video, Spotlight. Based on this video I found on YouTube, there might have been some sort of submission to be a part of the music video as a dancer. If not, and it's just this guy dancing as a shot in the dark Stump would notice it, here it is anyway. Go support Ryan Johnson's dance moves 13 years too late, y'all. Back to the mystery. It seems like the video may not have been fully completed, as Patrick returned to revive Fall Out Boy not too long after. At the time, it was only available for private viewing on Joe's website, but is now no longer available, besides that thumbnail, which is interesting to say the least. Joe described it further. Patrick wanted to do something fun and filled with the energy of the song. I thought that combining him with different characters and dance styles in one little show would really help create eclectic pop music. Joe Ween said he would be fine sharing it again if Patrick Stump gave permission. Welp, that's a dead end. Here's something more silly that fans have been unable to find for years. When Fall Out Boy did a whiteboard guessing game for iHeartRadio in promotion for 2013 Save Rock and Roll, it is infamous for one specific scene where Patrick drew an infinity sign smoking a blunt to represent Affinity on High. Get it? It was posted on February 8th, 2013, and according to the archive we have, it is no longer available. Patrick Stump sang Immortals in Italian for the Italian dub of Big Hero 6. Italian folks seem to be impressed by his performance for someone who didn't speak the language. You can hear most of it within the movie, but the full studio version isn't available anymore. Surely it's on someone's hard drive and it keeps getting blocked by copyright. On November 24th, 2014, Patrick Stump was invited on the 7th season of The Voice as a special guest to discuss helping Adam Levine as he guided his team towards the top 10 as an experienced musician. Unfortunately, the early seasons of the show have been taken down in full on NBC and are no longer available, making the entirety of this scene unviewable, besides this one upload. I wonder why it's still up.
Season 7 of The Voice is already narrowed down to its top 10, and now it's time for some guest mentors to come.
Yep, this lady is narrating it the entire time. The only footage available from this segment. Update. Footage has been found. Shout out to Stefani Archive of all places for having the entirety of The Voice Season 7 available for download. I pray NBC doesn't show up to your door, you brave soldier. Finally, Mania was supposed to come out in September 2017, but the negative reception of Young and Menace caused it to get delayed to January 2018. I swear my friend Ben Riggle's the only person I know that likes it. The album would get scrapped, and they would go back to the studio to cut more tracks. Likely an entire album's worth of material was now lost. Now there's a catch. The only surviving cuts from that first edition are available not through Fall Out Boy, but through Frosty and the Nightmare Making Machine? The Llama Mania EP was released under this fictional band on February 23rd, 2018, featuring demo tracks that were either cut from Mania or reworked, giving us Wrong Side of Paradise, Past Life, and Footprints in the Snow. Stay frosty. It's unfortunate the possibility of most of these being found is low because, man, fans would eat these up. There's probably so much more out there like the abandoned Infinity on High movie, TV sitcom Punk is Dad, higher quality versions of their music videos, and music from their older bands when they were young. These are the most talked about pieces I could find. Let me know if there are others out there. I could always make a sequel. Hunting for lost media is always fun. I even uncovered the existence of another band called Fall Out Boy, but it's formatted like the game Fallout and the 10 out of 10 song by Mariana's Trench. Imagine an alternative universe. This band became the Fall Out Boy we know today. Makes you think. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more Lost Media episodes, give me any sort of suggestions. Like and subscribe for more base content like this. Also, I'll see you all in the next one. Make sure to love all and peace.